that we spoke about earlier in this week. On the 13th of September, just after 10:15 in the evening, at 1833 West 21st Place, we had a 12-year-old victim walking with two other 12-year-olds, their friends, and two uncles. They were going to the store to purchase a toy and then come back to a family party. When they were walking back to the party, there were two gunmen in an alley that began shooting their weapons in the direction, striking this 12-year-old victim in the head. The victim is still in extremely critical condition, but is obviously still alive, so please pray for their family. All I could tell you is their condition is still very, very critical. We briefly spoke about what happened next was officers in the area saw a black car flee at an extremely high rate of speed. Officers in the area were conducting a carjacking mission. Members from that mission team followed that vehicle as long as they could, and the car was traveling at such a high rate of speed they had to stop following it. But by that time, we were able to contact one of our partners that we were working with on our carjacking mission, our federal helicopter from Homeland Security, and that helicopter was able to follow this car all the way out to the Hinsdale area without losing sight of it. It was at that time we were able to coordinate with Hinsdale, and Hinsdale was able to deploy some spike strips, stopping the vehicle and taking those offenders into custody. Hinsdale did a remarkable job. I really want to thank the officers involved. Remarkable job at taking these offenders into custody in a safe manner. They did a great job of performing some tests on these individuals and then turned them over to Chicago police. It was later on when these people were in custody, once again, Hinsdale police were able to actually find a weapon in the path of flight in which this car was driven, and then that weapon tested positive to the shell casings on the scene. And there was other evidence that to support one of those individuals in the car discharged that weapon, and as well as the driver was in custody. So when the whole case was finished, we were able to charge two individuals with 5 felony counts of attempt first-degree murder, and that's due to the fact there were 5 people in the alley that were being shot at when this occurred. Unfortunately, it was the 12-year-old who suffered the gunshot wound to the head. So offender Isaiah Renteria, male, 22 years of age, is charged with 5 felony counts of first-degree murder. That was the individual driving the vehicle. And then the second offender, Pedro Molina, was also charged with 5 felony counts of attempt first-degree murder. So like I said, this is, I can't explain to you the coordination that goes into this and how remarkable it is that Chicago was able to kind of start this, work with a federal helicopter. Without that helicopter, we're just not able to do this. And without Hinsdale police stopping the car and then doing a remarkable job going back to the crime scene later and retrieving this handgun, none of this gets accomplished. So I really just want to thank our partners because it's very important, in order to arrest these offenders. It just wouldn't have happened without their assistance. With that, I'm going to take some questions on topic. I know you guys have a lot of questions off topic, and I can't address those questions, so I'm going to address questions on topic.
Mary Norkel, Chicago Sun-Times. First off, could you spell the names of those charged?
Sure. So the first individual that I mentioned was the driver of the vehicle, Isaiah, I-Z-A-I-A-H, last name Renteria, R-E-N-T-E-R-I-A. Second individual charged, Pedro Molina, first name Pedro, P-E-D-R-O, last name Molina, M-O-L-I-N-A.
And Molina's age?
Molina's age is 23.
Thank you. Also, do you have any information at this time on if the family members with the 12-year-olds were the intended target?
So these 3 individuals were placed into custody. They all invoked the right to remain silent. What I can tell you is based upon the evidence and the totality of the investigation, the technology we have shows this vehicle along with 2 other vehicles kind of circling the neighborhood for about 10 to 15 minutes prior to this incident. So what it appears to be, based upon the evidence, is these guys are out there. It appears they're looking for someone to shoot. Based upon these 3 12-year-olds and the 2 uncles, one of which was a CCL holder who returned fire. They don't have any gang affiliations. There's no reason to target these individuals. So they're not members of gangs. It just looks like these bad guys were looking for someone to shoot, and they saw these people and just decided to do so. And in the end, you have a 12-year-old shot in the head, which is extremely unfortunate.
And any other gang affiliation? I know you said the family wasn't gang related, but any other gang affiliation?
I don't want to go into the background of these guys and talk about their, their documentation but we do believe it was, the motivation for this was gang-related.
Something going on over there? Is there a turf war or some sort of something where they would normally be out doing that sort of thing, or is that kind of just what they do?
So, for these particular individuals, like I said, they invoked the right to remain silent. We do have a historical conflict in that area, and I don't have all the details on, when it sparked and when it didn't, but we do have, people who are members of a gang who reside in that area, and yes, sometimes the rival gang will come in seeking to shoot gang members. Sometimes the gang members from that area will be driving around, once again, looking to see someone who maybe they don't recognize from the neighborhood, who they think might be an opposing gang member, and then shoot those individuals. We believe, once again, we have to speculate a little bit here, which I don't like to do, but based upon the video evidence we have and these individuals and their backgrounds, we believe that they were seeking to shoot someone. They didn't recognize these people from the area. This is just a family party to celebrate Mexican Independence Day, and they're just walking to the store to get this 12-year-old a toy, and we have these people shoot them.
Was it the Independence Day celebration or a relative's birthday party? I heard it was the grandmother's birthday party as well.
That is possible, so I don't have that information, so I'll have to get back to you that. But I knew it was a family party, and we thought they were celebrating that. But it may have been a birthday party as well, so I don't have that information. I'll get that offline.
What was the, and it's probably an obvious question, but I'm just interested, how did the family respond to you, in light of them dealing with this 12-year-old that's in very grave critical condition, learning that you had arrested the individual responsible for shooting him?
Sure. So I think, and thanks for the question, but I think we probably, we talk about the offenders too much, and you just have a victim and a family here who's suffering. So, obviously they're, I guess pleased would be the best word, that, officers and we're able to take these people in custody, but their main focus is the 12-year-old and being at the hospital with the individual. They're happy that, once again, I think, that these people are removed from the street at this time, so they can't harm anybody else. But I really think the main focus is on the 12-year-old, relative. And, I think everyone's kind of just got to keep that front and center with, you do have a 12-year-old shot in the head for no reason, and we really just kind of got to think about the victim. It's, what, I don't want to give like a medical update. He's still very critical, but the doctors, said there's, he does have some brain activity, but like I said, I defer to the, obviously the doctors for the diagnosis, but still extremely critical condition at this time.